rainy days are pretty. I was just listening to a song. I forget who it's from. It's called Paradise, but it's talking about, the singer's talking about, Daddy, take me by the river. He says, sorry, son, but you asked too late, cause the something something coal train took it all away or something like that. I was like, ooh, it's pretty deep a little bit. Um, Industrialization, and this is kind of where I'm gonna go. Generally speaking, I feel like we need to not destroy the planet. I mean, straight up. Um, like this ecosystem that has developed, it's taken billions of years, dude, and we exist within a niche, whatever, of this ecosystem. Like literally, like the atmospheric composition. If it like changes even slightly, that's going to cause bad things for ourselves. Um, we exist within a niche within this ecosystem, and it's almost like your body has different organs. I mean, your body is a complete system, but then there's like different organs, tissues, cells. It's like each of those cells is pretty much dependent on the entire body to survive. Any of those cells that think it's not is gonna find out the hard way. Like if you, I don't know, let's just say you draw blood. There's a bunch of blood cells in there. You just squirt it on the ground. It's no longer part of the system that helps it survive. It's just gonna be dead on the ground like within seconds. It's just, and that's the same thing with ourselves. If we took ourselves out of this ecosystem, shot ourselves in outer space, and just took off our spacesuit helmets or whatever, I mean, come on, we already know. That's how you know you're part of this body of life on the planet. It's a complete system. Those birds you hear are part of it. Those little crickets or whatever they're called. What are those called? Make that little chirpy sound. The insects. I don't know. Those locusts, cicadas, whatever they're called. But these trees. I mean, this whole solar system, honestly, is a complete system. You got the heliosphere that's like creates like a force field around the planet, so it's not like so we're not being bombarded by the like deep space cosmic rays, radiation, that. And then the planet itself has a protective layer, atmosphere from the sun. I mean, if we're getting bombarded with all this like crazy radiation, we'd be like, it'd just be insane. Like we have a stable situation. I mean, it's crazy. I don't even know how it came about. Like scientists still don't know. Like the planet, the size of it, with this amount of gravity that allows the water cycle, and the distance from the sun, and that has a tilt, so it's like evenly heated as it travels around the sun. And there's like convection currents in the ocean. There's seasons, obviously. I mean, like this planet is, I would almost say perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like just the setup with this solar system, and this planet in particular, being a certain distance, size, everything. Um, with the chemistry that's here, the material, the apparently the sun is a secondary star from what I understand, because the primary star is just like hydrogen and helium that squeezes all that together in its core and then creates all these heavy metals. And apparently the primary star exploded into a new accretion disk that created the current solar system, including our planet. And that's why we have all these like, heavier metals. That's why I even exist. That's why you exist, because there was a star that exploded that created nice heavy like heavier elements, whatever, and exploded and reformed into this solar system that we see, this planet with this soil. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we exist right now. And there's probably a lot of chance involved in that. I don't know. Here, look, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's a theory. Look, this is a cool theory though. I'm just thinking like, it could be. We could like just kind of ride on it if we want to, just cause. But I'm thinking maybe once upon a time there was some species on some planet, probably somewhere in this galaxy, because I don't think any species is traveling intergalactic. Maybe though, if they have some crazy technology where they could just like teleport almost. I'm thinking maybe there was once a species that evolved to the point of creating technology where they could go, interstellar, flying from star system to star system, and maybe they understood how long it took for them to evolve to that point. Maybe they did science like we did and had like a fossil record on their planet and everything. We're like, whoa, like it took billions of years for us to get here. Maybe they understood the value of that evolution, and then maybe they went around looking for life elsewhere, maybe primitive life, and maybe they said, there's a chance that it's going to take another billion years or so for it to reach a point of, being intelligent, and maybe they took it upon themselves to like go seek out that life. Maybe here's where it gets crazy. I'm just assuming there might be like some aliens that got like some super crazy technology that we don't have right now. But maybe they came through and set up the planet. Like maybe they could like shift its orbit a little bit into the Goldilocks zone, give it a nice little tilt. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, all right, that should be good, and they set it up to help expedite the development of life. It's a theory. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying. But maybe they did that, and then maybe also they did some genetic work. It could have been that one, the original one, maybe. Well, here's the theory, though. Maybe there's one initially that went through all of that evolution organically without the help of a species before, and maybe that was just like a rare chance that they made it to that point of evolution where they could go out and set up different planets or whatnot. And maybe they did that because they understood that it was a rare success in the vast array of chance and happenings of the universe. So maybe they understood, they organically evolved, understood how important it was, how kind of rare it might have been, I don't know, to get to that point of, I don't know, see, that's the thing too, that's kind of like what I'm kind of waiting for humans to get to, like, realize, dude, it took a long time for us to get here. It's just like, it's precious that we've made it this far. It could be rare. Look, I'm just being honest, maybe we could be, and this is kind of on the opposite end of this theory I was just explaining. We could be that first species that has organically evolved to this point where we're getting to the point where we're maybe eventually going to be able to go travel, interstellar. And maybe we're going to be the ones that evolved organically, realized that this is a precious thing that we've even made it this far. It took billions of years, with all the things that could have gone wrong, we somehow made it this far. What the heck? That's amazing. And and maybe we're gonna understand the value of that, and take care of it, like to an extreme degree, and maybe like I said, go interstellar and seek out life elsewhere, and then maybe if we can, we can set up their plan. Just put them in the Goldilocks zone, just scoot them over a little bit, give them a little tilt, so they got some even distribution of heat or whatever coming from their star, and then maybe do a little bit of genetic work to expedite the evolutionary process of whatever species might be there. Somebody who said it, I forget. There was a dude, I forget who said it, but he said like it wouldn't make sense for us just to go to another planet because our biology wouldn't work there. Like there's another planet, it's not gonna have the same stuff that our planet has. Like I said, we exist in a niche on this planet. So it would make sense to go to another planet and work with the biology that's there, the life, whatever, and maybe try to genetically modify to create an intelligent species, I guess. Maybe a hybrid of ourselves with the biology that already works there. And really what all that's doing is like preserving the evolution, I guess, in the sense that, if there was the first species that evolved organically, then if it goes out and expedites evolution, and continues, just kind of keeps the flame of intelligent life alive, then it's kind of like preserving that evolutionary progress. Because I mean, a lot of people are probably gonna say it's not natural, but I think it is natural. If we evolve naturally and then come to the point of being able to do stuff, like that, it's like when we naturally developed to that point, didn't we? And even if it wasn't us, even if we were modified, and like I said, there was an original species that organically evolved, as far as we know. I mean, that just seems like it would have to be that way. And if they organically evolved to that point and then could do some genetic modification and stuff, then that's a natural part of progress, I would say. Now, there's a difference between natural and smart. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things, maybe you could say they're natural. It doesn't mean they're smart. A lot of things could be deadly, dangerous. Yeah, so that's the thing. We exist in a niche on this planet. Industrialization is pretty new. It's really, really new. It is. Last 200 years ain't shit. In a cosmic time scale, it's nothing, dude. Just and oh man, one of my friends said this. He said, and he's kind of just going off of assumption here, but he said that there's probably the universe could be infinite, which would mean that just with, I guess, statistically speaking, there has to be some species that's at least a million years more advanced than us. You know what I mean? And it's just imagine how far they'd be, because within the last couple hundred years, we made so much progress as a species. Just imagine a species that's a million years. It's just they would have crazy technology. But I mean, that's assuming the same rate of progress and stuff, and that there's not a plateau, a ceiling that you can't get past. I mean, and a lot of people have perceived ceilings. They think, oh no, we can't do that, and then sure enough, somebody down the line figures out, boom. So I mean, I'm not talking about perceived ceiling. I'm talking about actual ceiling. You know what I mean? Assuming that, I mean, I guess there would have to be a ceiling somewhere. I would say assuming that doesn't exist, but I mean, there have to be a ceiling somewhere. So maybe somewhere along that million years they hit that ceiling. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. Does there have to be a ceiling? That's a good question. Is there is there an indefinite, like, are there levels to this that can keep being explored, and like, technologies, like ways of, I don't know, hacking different levels of reality? I don't know, like, can that continue indefinitely? I don't know. That's a good question. Is there a ceiling? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they just figure out, oh, look, we can teleport into a new dimension, like, and then it's a whole different ballpark in that one. Then got all the other more progress to make right there. I don't know. That's a interesting question. That's something I might have to. It seems like there could just be infinite like levels of like functionality of this universe. I think like this universe is probably part of like a meta universe. It's probably like levels. I think it's just probably endless. It's just probably like just levels on levels on levels on levels, and I think you could probably keep, I don't know, going up the ladder or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. That's a theory, but speculation. But yeah, this planet, we're like the industrialization is like pretty new, dude. I like studying history. Like, for instance, I'm in America. America's like only like a 300-year-old country. Not even that. It's like there's a big old dude with a, what is that, like a front loaded? I don't know what it's called. That's some new stuff right there. That's only been around for not even 100 years. You know what I mean? And that's not long at all. Like, we're like, see, the thing that humans are doing right now is like we're rapidly innovating with technology, and we're just like going at it, like not paying attention to the fact that we're like being destructive, that there is like limited resource on this planet, that we exist in a niche that's very like in an ecosystem that's like very fragile. Like, we can't just be out here just messing stuff up. You with the front loader. I mean, it's like, it's cool if we do stuff, but it's like we gotta do stuff considering the greater, body that we're part of. It's kind of like, it's cool if like, your blood cells in your body do what blood cells do, but they gotta do it like in unison with the rest of, the functionality of your body. That's what we gotta do. We gotta understand we're part of this greater body of the planet or whatever, and we gotta be functional with it. What is this man doing? Is he about to dig a grave right now? I'm at a graveyard. You couldn't tell. It was a tombstone. That was a tombstone. Is this thing really about to just dig a grave right now? Or sitting here? Or was it just parking? Okay. I don't know why that's like, oh my gosh, I'm in the graveyard. I can't believe you would dig a grave. That was fun. Yeah. I don't know, man. What if we are the first like species to like organically evolve to this point, and like, no, like we're really like out ahead of like all the other species in the whole universe? I'd be like, that's a responsibility. It's like, dang, better not fuck it up, Because what if it really is rare? What if it's like, okay, like at the beginning, like here's the theory with like scientists. At the beginning of life on planet Earth, there's like all this like just organic material kind of floating around, and and eventually there was like one instance. This is just a, I don't know if this is still the going theory, but maybe there's one instance of life that had the right stuff to replicate and proliferate, and then that gave rise to all of this biodiversity we see, right? So there was just one instance of that, maybe, and that's debatable, I guess. But some scientists say that they just had, even if there all have been multiple instances, all there had to be was one that could have gave rise to all this if it could, proliferate like this and diversify and stuff. Just had to have the right like mechanical functionality almost, and like just imagine like, I mean, maybe that was a rare occasion. Maybe it took a while for that to happen, and then maybe if that didn't happen, like this wouldn't exist, and like maybe because it did, it was just that rare once in a blue moon lifetime, like not even like once in a billion year like occurrence maybe, that like it did have the right stuff and it did proliferate and it did give rise to all this. And I mean, if that didn't happen, maybe this wouldn't have existed. Maybe it is a super rare thing for it to happen. And like I said, billions of years without like there being a hiccup, like, or something that really like fully wiped everything out. There have been what they call like mass extinction events, like I forget what they're called, but one of them like wiped out like 95% of life on the planet. I guess what I'm trying to say is like just think about like that first instance of life on the planet, and maybe this is organic, maybe there wasn't any help, you know what I'm saying? And maybe it is a rare thing for that to occur, and then maybe it's on us, since it did occur, we like won the lottery with that, you know what I mean? Like the 1 in a trillion chance lottery that is like our obligation to continue, like I said, like preserve that evolutionary progress. Like maybe, like I said, we can become, interstellar, interplanetary, interstellar, whatever, spacefaring civilization, and go out there, and there could be life elsewhere. Maybe that's somewhat developed. This guy don't get it. He don't get what I'm saying. See, look, let me just point out one thing real quick. Two different types of people. Okay, look, I'm one person. I'm talking about like this big stuff, relatively big stuff. They got this guy who's just like digging holes. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's a. I think everybody has the potential to see the stuff I'm saying, to like think big, and understand what we are, and understand that it is kind of a precious thing that we. Okay, maybe not everybody, some people are kind of slow, just saying. But at least I think it's well within the capacity of most people to understand this type of stuff, and I think it's important. Yeah, I definitely don't get it. Like I don't know, maybe he'll watch this video later. I'll tell him, I'm like, hey bro, I'm gonna put this up, you wanna see yourself? And then I don't know. But yeah, maybe we are the organic development, you know what I mean, that didn't have help, and maybe it was a super rare thing, like 1 in a trillion chance that not only the initial life came to be. How you doing, bro? What's up, bro? Sorry. It's just funny. A little bit funny. But yeah, maybe it's on us. Maybe it's like our obligation to make sure that evolutionary progress is preserved. Like we go to other planets, like we become spacefaring, interstellar, and maybe there's like barren planets, and we're gonna have to take that work upon our own shoulders, and get that fire of life started over there. And like I said, maybe set up planets, kind of scoot them around the orbit. Maybe that's us, or maybe it already happened. And we have, previous species that maybe don't even exist anymore. Maybe they passed the baton or the torch or whatever, to us, to keep that fire alive of, the evolutionary progress. Maybe they did come through and were like genetically modified, and, and now we're a product of that. Because it does seem to be a kind of leap in the fossil record from the, I forget what they're called, but the monkeys that were kind of in the fossil record before us, and then we kind of just leaped to like these modern humans. It's like, and then there's like I don't know, a lot of people speculate about that, and they could still be around. I mean, assuming that is something that actually did occur. That dude's definitely digging a grave. Better not be a grave for humanity, cause no. Look, man. Okay. Dude's digging a grave, which means they're gonna bury somebody pretty soon. I don't know how soon. It means I should probably get on down the road pretty soon. But I don't know. My point with this whole thing. Industrialization is relatively new. I don't think we're paying attention. We're not being mindful of how precious it is. That we've even made it this far. It could be rare. It could be like trillion times a trillion chance that we've made it. A lot of people speculate that there's probably life elsewhere. There could be like primitive life. But it's like the fact that we went through billions of years of evolutionary progress without it like totally being wiped out, and like we've made it this far, that could be extremely rare. There got to be a lot of things that went right, it seems like, for us to get this far. I mean, it could be. I don't know. Like, I think it's safer to assume that it's rare and understand how precious it is than to just assume there's life everywhere and it's like it doesn't even matter if we're here or not. It's like that seems reckless. Like, this could be like a 1 in a trillion occasion that we've even made it this far. You know what I mean? And it could be major. It could be like our obligation to preserve it, you know what I mean? It's kind of, here's an analogy I used a while back. It's like, for a long time it seems like it was maybe just on autopilot. People didn't understand evolution. They didn't understand that it's been billions of years. There were probably people for a long time that all they saw was just the simple life they were living. I'm alive, and they see the life cycles, life and death and stuff, but they didn't understand like billions of years. They don't understand astronomy, like cosmic time, whatever. And so progress was just kind of happening. People didn't understand maybe that they had all types of theories where we came from. We were on the back of a turtle at one point. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But eventually we figured it out, and it's kind of like the difference between that and what it is now is kind of like basically just being asleep at the wheel, just going forward, and like being lucky you don't, run off a cliff or something and, die or whatever, versus understanding now how precious it is and being like, oh my gosh, this is precious. We have to steer straight to survive, because it's important. You know what I mean? And that's the analogy I use. It's kind of like the like a sleepy driver that woke up and was like, oh, whoa, this is super precious. It took billions of years to get here. Like, this is extremely important that we steer straight. Like, what have we been doing? Just, recklessly driving this whole time. And that's what people have been doing. Like, a lot of what we have in the world is like kind of like these improvised things, and a lot of people have not. It's like not even just improvised. It's like improvised incrementally with individual, like, kind of somewhat independent actors, and it's like what we have is like this amalgam of these different things that people have applied. It's like there's a point where it's going to be like, all right, we're going to have to manage this situation as a whole and like plan, and because you can't just keep throwing stuff at it. You know what I mean? It's too reckless, and that's what comes with that's what comes with understanding, how precious this is, how valuable, billions of years of evolution it is, and how rare it maybe is to occur. I mean, and I think eventually, these dudes are definitely grave digging. That dude just brought the boards to cover up the hole. He's gonna bring the dirt back over here, dump it. They're definitely gonna be burying somebody pretty soon. See, they understand life and death, in an immediate sense. But do they understand the cosmic time scale of things? Anyway, like I said, we could either be a species that's been helped, and if that is the case, then maybe the species that was the original, like, organically developed species they could be around still, maybe they're not. And maybe since the torch's been passed to us, maybe now that we're at the point where we're starting to understand this stuff, it's our turn to continue passing on the flame of life. And we already know this planet's only gonna last so long. I think, what was the estimate? I don't know, like either like another billion years or so. Like the sun's supposed to like expand and the planet's gonna be too hot and stuff. Like we already know that. Like we understand star cycles and stuff like that enough. So we know with that we only have so much time, and I mean, hopefully we can, become a spacefaring civilization and spread the seed of life elsewhere, pass that torch on, and I think that's just almost like cool to think about. Just like, what if there was a original species that developed naturally, like trillion on trillion chance, that it developed to the level that it did. And then, she don't get it. That girl right there, she just smoking a cigarette, driving a car. She don't care. She don't care about this stuff. See, there's a lot of people like that, and that's what needs to change. I feel like that's why I'm explaining this, trying to make content so people can see it and be like, oh, maybe this is precious. Maybe this is important. Maybe this is super rare. We should not just, be reckless with it. It's like being handed like, a rare, I don't know, like diamond or something that like only one of exists in our known universe. You know what I'm saying? And you just being like, oh, you're not understanding the value of it. You just like chunking it like, bro, no. Like this planet itself could be this rare gem of a planet that happened to survive through billions of years. It's like it could be the only thing in the known universe. I know a lot of scientists want to say, oh yeah, it's very likely that there's life elsewhere, but that doesn't mean it's gone through billions of years of evolution. This could be a rare thing. I'm telling you. And for us to just like, oh, just take it for granted, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. It is. But anyway, back to what I was trying to say. I like the idea of there maybe having been one original. I mean, we could be us, and if that's the case, then it's cool. Just to like, I guess we could be the origin of this whole idea. But maybe there was one that organically evolved and understood the value, like I'm talking about, of its own biological progress and wanted to preserve that, so it went around and set up planets, and if it could have, assuming that it could have, and then doing like biological. See, that's the thing. Like, I forget who said it, but they said basically like you couldn't just go to another planet and just like set up shop. It would be way more work to like change the whole ecosystem on that planet for it to what's that word? What's that word where you're like it accommodates for you? Yeah, it would be way harder to change up a whole planet to accommodate for your biology than it would be to accommodate biology that's already there, with maybe some of your genetics. I don't know, expedite the evolutionary process, by, kind of adding some, whatever genes it is that makes animals intelligent, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that'll just be a logical thing to do, to roll to a planet, just work with the biology that's already there. I mean, just seems obvious. So yeah, it's understanding the value of that multi-billion-year evolutionary progress, and that eventually, got to the point of intelligence, self-awareness, and understanding stuff like we're talking about right now, and including the value of its own existence and evolution and everything. And then understand the value of that, and then wanting to preserve it, and understanding that there's only so much time on this planet, and that's kind of what we're already doing. Like we're thinking about going to Mars to have a secondary colony, but I'm talking like we probably want to become a spacefarer, like interstellar. And like I said, there's probably already plans that have like primitive life, but we can set it up, like I said, in like a greenhouse thing, kind of put it in the Goldilocks zone, give it a little axial tilt, whatever, give it some even heat distribution, and that'll just increase the chances of, even if it's just like primitive life, like microorganisms, just doing that will probably just create a better environment for development. I think it's possible to like move a planet in its orbit. I don't know how, but it just seems possible. But yeah, just like, that. But then if there's like relatively developed life, I guess, then we can maybe, give it that extra little kick over into what we consider to be an intelligent, form of life through genetic modification. That's what I'm looking at right now. I love that we're doing that right now. It's just so cool. Like kind of hacking the biological functionality of different organisms. And we're smart enough to do it in like a controlled environment. I mean, I hope nobody's like doing anything. I don't know. Either way, dude, like life, there's so much life on this planet. Like even if we mess up, there's still just so much of this. Like I said, there could have been one instance of life early on that had the right stuff to proliferate, into all this biodiversity we see. So I mean, I think even if humans get wipe themselves out, even or whatever, there'll still be some little niche that still exists of life somewhere, like in the crevices somewhere. I'm just saying, even if there's like nuclear freaking war, like and just like nuclear just apocalypse, I still think there'll be life. There's so much life on this planet. I still think there'll be some somewhere, but it'll probably take a long ass time for it to like evolve like that. And that's really what I think is so precious and valuable, is the time that it took to get to this point of ourselves being a self-aware, intelligent species. And even with like the technological progress, or like what we're capable of, or the knowledge that we've accumulated over generations, that's part of like evolution. That's part of what I call like behavioral evolution. That's like precious stuff. I wonder if there's like an alien species out there that already has like a crap ton of knowledge, and just like you can expedite the literal genetic progress by like hacking, modifying genetics or whatever. I mean, it'd almost be the same thing if they just like taught us like everything they knew. That's like boom. Now you're expediting the behavioral evolution. You're preserving that behavioral evolution by sharing that knowledge. But at the same time, some of that knowledge could be reckless. And that really comes down to personal responsibility, or I say it could be reckless. The people could be reckless. Some of that knowledge could be dangerous in the hands of reckless people. That really comes down to the personal responsibility, and I guess personal maturity of, whoever has that knowledge. I mean, like as a whole species, like maybe there are some aliens that have like super deep knowledge and they're thinking about it. No, they ain't ready for it. Like, if we brought that knowledge to them, it'd be a matter of time. Like just, might do something crazy, and that would not be good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. We're just kind of stuck on this planet. We don't really know what's going on beyond this planet, but so we're working with only so much information. There's only so many known knowns right now. And I don't know, so there's a lot of speculation going on here. I mean, maybe we are the first again. Maybe we're the furthest developed species in the universe. Straight up. That's crazy. And that means that it's like a major responsibility. Meaning like people just take it for granted. Like you're holding like this precious gem in your hand that like is only one in the known universe, and you just like not even. It's like bruh, chill, bruh. Like be more like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, this is kind of major a little bit. It could be. I'm saying. And I think it's safer to assume that because we don't know. We don't know there's life elsewhere, especially life that's made it through billions of years of evolution without being like, extinguished. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we made it this far through even like mass extinction events where like 95% of the whole freaking, I don't know, biological stuff died or whatever. Look, man, this could be like majorly rare, dude. I'm telling you that we made it this far through this much biological evolution and everything, dude. It's just like like all I'm really doing. I'm just like speaking from like a like not like personal self-awareness. I'm thinking of like I understand that I'm part of this planet. Like kind of what's going on. It's like a level of self-awareness. That's all this is. And like I said, is that like the whole time we've just been like asleep at the wheel. Now we understand it's precious. It's like whoa, this is major. Now it's time to steer straight. You know what I mean? Keep this shit going straight. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of what we have with industrialization is like it's this like amalgam of things that we just put together that we're just throwing. It's like this improvised stuff. It's like it's not planned well. It's not managed well. It's a lot of people are so like self-absorbed and like egotistical. It's like you gotta look at what is really going on, like what you're even part of, man. You can't just be like a stupid, self-absorbed, like I don't know. So you know what I mean? I just see that a lot. I see a lot of people. I think ego is like a relic of like our monkey past. You know, just that self-absorbed nature where it's just all about me and just like, cause you see monkeys, they like compete for like dominance and stuff. It's like they don't get it. They're monkeys. They're stupid. They're stupid animals. They just want to be the dominant monkey, thinking in this, you know, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's stupid. That's stupid. That is dumb. People are still doing that though. It's like, dude, grow up. It's time to grow up. Take the wheel. Let's steer this shit straight. You know what I'm saying? Like. This could be like literally like the only like level of this progress, and I don't know. I'm saying, like I said, we don't really know what's going on out there, but this could, as far as we know, this is a very, very precious thing, you know. Regardless, even if there was help, still the billions of years of evolution before maybe a little bit of help, you know, that created modern humans, you know. Still, there was billions of years of evolution before that. That's a lot of work, you know, like that matters. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So I think people need to get over the little like stupid, egotistical, self-absorbed monkey brain stuff and start seeing the bigger picture, you know? Because people are pretty reckless, man. People are pretty reckless right now. Holding this precious gem that could be like the only one in the known universe. It's like, oh, who cares? Like, what? You're crazy. That's like, madman. No, don't do that. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm just like I said, like, industrialization is relatively new, and we're just kind of like going at it recklessly, man. It's dangerous. And I think the whole thing, we need to look at it, understand how precious this is, and like start steering the ship straight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. We've reached this level of self-awareness. Like I said before, it was just people understood like life cycles simply. All they could see, they didn't understand that billions of years of evolution occurred before today. Now we do understand it. Now we have that level of awareness. Okay, it's time that now we understand how valuable it is. Now we understand how precious it is. Now we should take the wheel and hold it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Not freaking like, oh well, just keep being reckless and keep just going full on, you know, full steam ahead. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. We should probably slow down a little bit. I mean, you know, like what's the rush? Rushing is dangerous sometimes. You know, really. That's another thing. People should probably slow down. Seriously. I mean, what is the rush? If there's not a rush, don't rush. It just adds extra pressure. It's dangerous, you know? I think a lot of individuals want to, like, you know, do things while they're alive. It's like, okay, but there's only so much progress you can make while you're alive individually. Like, you're only going to be here for this window, and there's all this time that already elapsed. There's going to be all this time that elapsed in the future. It's like, there's only going to be so much you're going to be here for. So don't, like, I mean, that's just kind of how nature goes, too. It's like, you can't rush nature. Like, it grows at its own pace. I mean, it's the same thing. We're part of nature. We're part of its development. It's like, there's no need to rush. It's reckless. It's dangerous. That's when people... It's the same thing, like driving a car. You're like, just full steam ahead. It's like, you're not ready for that turn, off the cliff, you're going. Like, you know, it's very similar. So, yeah, you know, so I really think people should. So that's the thing too. I think we've been so enthused with progress. It's like I am too. I like stuff, and I do think it's like on an individual thing. On a individuals want to like see stuff happen in their lifetime. But it's like, okay, well, let's not rush it if it's dangerous. Okay, guess we can maybe like work hard at things that maybe aren't so dangerous. But if we're like recklessly destroying the planet that we're dependent on, and it's gonna mess things up for future generations, and we're gonna compromise our long-term survival. We're not taking care of this precious gem, which could be the only one in existence right now. That's dangerous. It's very dangerous. So yeah, I suggest people slow down too. Just take a look around and see what's going on. That's the thing I think people ain't doing. Like a lot of people just like rushing, like it's like a systematic thing too. Like with the economy, like a lot of people just have their jobs and they're told to do this, and it's like the whole thing's kind of set up a little bit. It's not the healthiest. I think the whole thing can be better managed to, be more sustainable. Straight up. A lot of people have been talking about that. A lot of people talk about like climate change, all types of stuff. And that just comes down to like better management collectively. That's the thing, man. There's a lot of individuals, like I said, like egotistical, selfish people, like even like that are like world leaders, like politicians and stuff. It's like, dude, y'all gotta get over it. Y'all still on some monkey shit. Like, I'm the big monkey. Like, you're not seeing a bigger picture. I mean, really, in context of the bigger picture, you look like an idiot. You look like an idiot, straight up. I think that pressure needs to be there. The more people that understand all this, the more idiot, self-absorbed, egotistical monkey people are gonna look stupid. People that just want to be, I don't know. They're just competing for selfish gain. It's like that's stupid. That's an immature. That's a lack of self-awareness on a level beyond just like. I guess you could say in understanding what you're a part of. If you're just like self-absorbed as an individual, not even seeing what you're a part of, you're ignorant of what you are part of. You know what I'm saying? And that should be. I mean, that's stupid. It just is. Okay, I think I've been talking about that enough. I don't know. So hopefully this has a positive impact and. Yeah, I think we're at that point. Like I said, there was a point where people didn't know where that billions of years of evolution occurred before us. But then, thankfully, a lot of people step by step figure stuff out. And now here we are. That's the gift that previous generations gave us. They kept working, trying to figure stuff out, and boom, now we understand stuff. And now it's time to take the wheel, steer the ship straight, and cruise carefully, not full steam ahead, recklessly, blindly, or you know what I'm saying, just. It's time to be very, very careful with this precious gem that is the multi-billion-year evolution of this entire planet, And so yeah, here we are. I mean, we're at that point. That people need to really see what is going on beyond themselves individually. I mean, there's no excuse for that anymore. That's just totally stupid, self-absorbed, idiot, monkey behavior, to be honest. I really think like egotistical behavior is like a relic of our monkey past, Gotta grow up. We gotta grow up collectively. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, like I said, I hope this has a positive impact, and yeah. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out.